So what's actually going on with the Greek gods in the MCU? After years of the MCU focusing mostly on the Norse side of things, we finally got to see Zeus and some of the Greek gods, and honestly, it felt kind of underwhelming. Zeus shows up in Thor Love and Thunder, played by Russell Crowe, and he's introduced as the leader of the Council of Godheads in Omnipotence City. Basically, he's supposed to be the top guy among a bunch of gods people worship. Even Bast, the Wakandan goddess, is part of that whole setup. But here's the thing, he's nowhere near Odin's level. In the comics, Zeus is insanely powerful. In the MCU, though, he feels kinda basic. His powers mostly boil down to being tough and throwing around his lightning bolt. That's about it. And the way Russell Crowe plays him leans heavily into comedy. He's flashy, insecure, a little petty, and way more worried about how he looks than actually being powerful. Instead of coming off like this intimidating Olympian god king on Odin's level, he feels almost cartoonish. And when you compare him to the Allfather, the guy who conquered and ruled the 9 realms, Zeus just doesn't hit the same at all. In Marvel Comics, gods and demigods aren't just side characters, they're foundational. Way before gamma radiation, space missions, or super soldier serums turned humans into heroes, it was the gods and demigods who were the original protectors of the Marvel Universe. And among them, Zeus isn't just another name, he's the Olympian king. Aside from Odin, no other deity really stands on his level. Marvel has always portrayed Zeus as one of the most dominant forces in the pantheon. He's shown up in major titles like the Avengers, Thor, and the Champions, constantly reinforcing how powerful and influential he is. He wasn't just inspired by the legendary Greek god, he was brought into Marvel by the comic book icons Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. That alone gave him massive weight. With that kind of creative backing, it's no surprise Zeus became central to huge cosmic-level storylines, clashing with Thor and Odin, dealing with the Asgardians, and even facing the Celestials. At one point, Zeus even put aside his rivalry with Odin to form an alliance against the Celestials if they ever returned to Earth. One of his most impressive moments comes in The Mighty Thor number 291, written by Roy Thomas with art by Keith Pollard and Cheek Stone. There, Zeus leads the Olympians alongside Odin against the Eternals. It's a massive display of power, leadership, and battlefield experience. Odin himself treats Zeus as an equal and respects his judgment. That's the Zeus fans know, a cosmic heavyweight, a god king who commands respect even from the Allfather, which is why seeing him reduced to comic relief in the MCU stings a lot. The good thing is, they can still fix this. They already teased Hercules at the end of Thor Love and Thunder, so the door is wide open. If they handle him right and bring in more of the heavy-hitting Greek gods, and there are a lot of them, the Olympian side of the MCU could still become something massive. Now, take Hercules himself. In the comics, he's not just some side character, he's a powerhouse. He actually has the greatest raw strength of all the Olympians, and is even stronger than Zeus. And we're not talking strong for a god, we're talking stronger than most top-tier Marvel icons. During Civil War, one of Marvel's biggest events, he literally ripped Mjolnir away from a Thor clone. That's insane. Taking Mjolnir from someone mid-fight isn't a casual feat. On top of that, Hercules is practically invulnerable to almost any physical attack. Magic can affect him, sure, but in straight combat, he's an absolute tank. And then there's his weapon, the Golden Mace. It's forged from adamantine and is every bit as powerful as Mjolnir. If the MCU leans into that version of Hercules, the unstoppable, battle-hardened demigod who can stand toe-to-toe with Thor, they could completely redeem how they introduced the Olympians. And honestly, watching Thor deal with someone who's physically stronger than him would be way more interesting than another joke-filled god scene. Another one is Apollo. He controls light and solar energy, firing off insanely powerful blasts that, at least in theory, don't really have a limit. As the god of light, he can also channel that same energy to heal people and even grant others superhuman abilities. On top of that, he's got the standard Olympian god toolkit like the rest of the pantheon, including something called Allspeak. That basically lets him understand and speak every language out there, whether it's human or alien, anywhere in the Marvel Universe. Then we've got Hermes. The god of speed absolutely lives up to the title. He's faster than any other Olympian, and that's saying a lot since they're all superhumanly fast. In fact, he's quicker than almost anyone in the Marvel Universe, and the comics still haven't really shown where his limit is. He can even fly, and when traveling through space or across dimensions, he moves at near light speed. His stamina and endurance are on another level too, letting him handle that insane speed without burning out. Next up is Nyx. Nyx is the goddess of darkness in the Olympian pantheon, and she's no joke. She's got the same god-level physiology as the other Olympians, but her raw strength actually surpasses most, maybe all of them. In Avengers No Road Home #2, she straight up snapped Zeus's neck. On top of that, she literally controls darkness itself. She can shape shadows into solid constructs, even entire soldiers for her dark army. She can also blind people with pure darkness, and she once blinded the Scarlet Witch, which says a lot considering how insanely powerful Wanda is. Moving on, we've got Pluto. Pluto is the god of death and the ruler of Hades in the Marvel Universe. He has authority over the souls of Olympian worshippers, guiding them to the underworld. But it doesn't stop there. He can also bring people back to life. His control over life and death even extends to the other Olympian gods. When major figures like Zeus or Hera die, Pluto takes charge of their souls and sends them to Hades himself. Lastly, we've got Ares, and honestly, he's the one I'm most hyped to see in the MCU. Ares has all the standard Olympian god traits: insane strength, speed, agility, durability, reflexes, healing, and basically immortality. But compared to most Olympians, he's on another level physically. His strength is only matched by Neptune and Pluto, and surpassed only by Zeus and Hercules. He barely produces fatigue toxins, meaning he can fight almost endlessly without tiring out. He can tank massive impacts, energy blasts, extreme temperatures, even huge falls, and keep going. He doesn't age, and no earthly disease can touch him. He can be hurt under rare circumstances, though. There was a time on Earth when he became vulnerable enough to be taken down by bullets, but in other moments, he shrugged off point-blank machine gun fire from War Machine, so yeah, really depends on the situation. While he's not the most skilled magician among the Olympians, and he can't naturally fly, teleport freely, or fire energy blasts like some of them, he still has access to godly magic. He can sense other gods and mystical forces, summon fellow deities, and travel between Olympus and Earth when needed. That said, he's not unbeatable in magic. Morgan Le Fay once turned him into stone despite his power. But where Ares truly shines is war. As the Olympian god of war, he's one of the most dangerous hand-to-hand fighters in existence, arguably even better than Zeus or Athena in pure combat skill. Nate Gray once described him as war personified across all planes and futures. At one point, Ares literally tore through time itself to reach Nate, causing shockwaves across the time stream. He's traveled between dimensions, created monsters like the Stymphalian birds as an extension of his own essence, and even manipulated time to punish his own son. He can also spark and control conflict itself, because war isn't just what he does, it's what he is. On top of that, he's a master of basically every weapon imaginable. Ancient weapons, modern firearms, explosives, you name it, he's used everything from spears and battle axes to guns loaded with Hydra blood bullets. He's obsessed with the art of warfare in all its forms, including strategy, interrogation, and brutal combat tactics. If the MCU ever does him right, Ares could easily be one of the most intense gods we've seen on screen. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe because we'll be covering more updates on this soon. We'll see you next time.